All right, so I want to welcome everybody once again. Um, Today is week 11. So this is our what I'll call our penultimate week. Um, Week 12 would be our last official week um of this training. So week 11 right now is our penultimate week leading up to next week, and it has been a good experience for me interacting with a lot of you and seeing your work. This class has been quite different from the first cohort, very different from the first cohort in terms of our approach to design. With the first cohort, there was a lot of experimentation. And so, with the people that were part of the first cohort, if you were to interact with any of them, if any of you know anyone that were part of the first 20, 22 people that joined, um, they will they will tell you their experience was quite different. Because with them, um, we it was very focused on thinking by coming up with their own ideas. However, when we started this cohort, I realized it was not such an effective way of teaching logo design. Um, it's a good way. It's what a lot of people do in design academies, design schools, where they just give you projects to do and just give you briefs and just start learning by coming up with your own unique ideas. But it's a very slow way of learning, and some people never reach their desired destination by doing things that way. So I kind of decided that I took some time. I took like a month or so to come up with a new structure of teaching, and I'll be changing this as much as possible. That way, the people that will be starting on the 27th, they might have a slightly different experience from yours, but it will always be engineered to make it a more effective training teaching method. Now, for you guys, the approach has not been think on your own. It has been think by looking at good work and copying. So we have kind of suspended that original thinking because that's what a lot of people kind of do. That like from the onset, you start thinking of ideas by yourself. It's not the best way to learn because you can get very discouraged because what will happen is that you start doing bad ideas from the onset, and so you might end up doing like bad ideas for a whole year. And when you start putting out bad ideas, you start getting feedback from people who are not patient with your journey and just saying, Jonathan, you're not really good at this logo design. Taiwo, you're not really good at this logo design. Chanel, you're not really good at this logo design. Well, when in actual fact you're just growing into it. So I realized that when I started learning, I learned a lot of things by copying, and we don't emphasize copying enough. Copying is so important. And that's why some of you might think, oh man, I'm not getting to work on a project myself. No, no, no. You have the rest of your life to work on projects. What I want you to get is the groundwork of how good work is done and learn the process of sketching, the process of digitization, the process of presentation. And don't be ashamed to look at someone that is doing it well and copy their model. Nobody does anything groundbreaking in a vacuum. So I want you guys to have this at the back of your mind. Don't start out by trying to be original. Start out by trying to be a copy of somebody who is incredibly good. Please don't start out by trying to be original. It will take you years to get to a place where your originality is brilliant. And a lot of people, since you're doing it as a business, you don't have that time to say it's going to take me 5, 6, 7 years to get to a place where people will actually see that my work is good. No, because if you want to do a business, you want to be able to convert very easily between two 2 years, um, 3 years maximum. You understand? Where you can actually come to clients and they're saying your work is good. But you must be copying. Copying is not copying to sell. And this is where I need to emphasize. Don't sell other people's work off as your own. Never sell other people's work off as your own. Only copy to practice. Copy to practice. Now, when you have original work to do, the way you copy is not by taking the details, you copy the concept. So you will look at this. What you do is in your research stage, you are working for a fashion outlet. You kind of see, oh, what's their name? What's their style? And then you kind of, and that's what we talked about last week. What's their personality? Then you go and research people in the industry that have designed something for that personality and look at what they've done and follow their model. What do they have? They have a symbol. What's their symbol like? Is a crest. What's their crest like? He has an animal. That's what do I think you need to start with. I need the crest. I'm going to use an animal. I'm not going to try to come up with my own idea of what I feel a fashion company should look like. Crest, that would be every time you're working, you're looking at their own. Is this how they place their crest? That's not how they placed it. Their own is way higher than the word mark. I'll make it higher. Theirs is smaller. They've used gold. They've used this. What kind of font do they use? They use serif. They use sans serif. How do they space? What's the kerning? You know, when you copy that way, you are teaching your brain to learn the work practically. It will get to a place where it's second nature to you to start creating originally good work. 1 minute, please. All right, so sorry about that. I have a little bit of a cough, so I might be asking for some time to put myself together. Okay, so copy, copy is very important, and that's why the exercises you've been doing have not been go and look for your own ideas. No, 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 no. It's about seeing good work. The more you see good work, the better you would be. So what I'm trying to say is, if I did an experiment and I put two people to start design, they've never done design before. I give one guy a laptop and a mouse and install Adobe Illustrator for him to just come up with his own ideas, and I leave him there for 6 months. And I give the other person, maybe a lady, I don't give her a laptop. I just give her magazines that have incredible logos, and I give her a phone where she can look at the internet and just look at sites that have incredible logos. When I come back in 6 months' time, mm, and I were to come to both of them and see where their design education, their improvement as designers come to, you will realize that the lady will be better exposed in terms of understanding of design than the guy that didn't have resources. The guy that didn't have resources might grow by, maybe if it was a zero on a scale of 1 to 10, by the time I come, he will be on a 2. 6 months of actively hard working on logos from his own ideas every day. The lady would be between a 6 and a 7 in that 6 months, just from looking and seeing exposure. By the time I give her a laptop, it won't take her time to start doing amazing work. She'll need very little time. But that other guy had 6 months with a laptop and he has not, he's still at a 2, whereby he's still working with clients and clients are steady rejecting his job. But he has been working, but they are rejecting his job. And they will keep rejecting his job for the next 3, 4 years. And then he gets frustrated that maybe I'm not meant to be doing this design. No, no, no. He's meant to be doing it. He just needs more exposure. Exposure will do wonders for you. For those of you that know my story, I had the opportunity to travel to Canada to school for my postgraduate in computer interactive multimedia. So officially, on the record, I learned graphic design in Canada. That's what people say, but that is not true. It's not true. It's what people say, but it's not true. I didn't learn graphic design in Canada. I knew how to do graphic design in Nigeria. I learned every software I know in Nigeria before I traveled. I was already working before I traveled. The only difference between the Tola that came back from Canada and the Tola that left for Canada is when I came back from Canada, my mind, there was no growth in my ability to use the software. In fact, at a point, my lecturers knew that I knew how to use the software. So they would ask Tola, what do you think we'll do here? Because they could get stuck. But because they knew I knew how to use software, they would ask me questions. But the only difference between the Tola that was in Nigeria and Tola that came back from Canada is my mind had grown. My mind had grown. I'd seen too many good designs that I couldn't but do excellent design when I came back. My mind was too exposed. Every day I went out, I was seeing good design. Every time I put on TV, I was seeing design. Every time I read a book, I was seeing good designs. So I grew astronomically in my creative mind, not in my design activity. No. I was still the same guy. If I had not learned more softwares, maybe if at all, the only software I learned in Canada there was Dreamweaver. And Dreamweaver doesn't exist anymore. So in reality, everything I learned in Canada, technical wise, doesn't help me now today anymore. Because the only software I learned in Canada was extra that I didn't know before leaving was Dreamweaver. And that thing doesn't exist anymore today. The only thing that I've still taken from my experience in Canada is exposure. And that's what I want you guys to get from these classes that I'm giving to you. Exposure. If you can't get exposure, you've gotten everything you need from this class. Exposure. That's why I don't worry too much when people say they haven't done the exercises. I don't worry too much. It's not one of those classes where you get scolded when you're like, you haven't done exercises. No, you'll be punished. You'll be do this. No. That's a very insecure way to teach. You understand? Doesn't matter if you don't do the exercises. Doesn't matter. The most important thing is be in the room, watch the videos, listen to the recordings, read the exercise, look at the work other people have done. If you can't do it, do that. Just be in the room. You will see how much you will grow just by doing that. So I don't worry when people tell me they can't do the exercises, because I understand that life gets in the way. There are a lot of challenges in life that you might face that will not allow you to have time to sit down and actually click a mouse. So don't worry. Just listen. All those earlier audios I sent with you, listen to them. Listen to them when you're going to work. Listen to them before you sleep. Just listen to the classes, the audio. Look at what people have done. Look at the examples I've shared. You have not clicked the mouse. Don't worry. You are getting better because your mind is growing. You understand? So that's what this class is about. And that's how I want you to operate when we finish this class. That's the value I want you to have. Keep exposing yourself. Keep exposing yourself. Keep sketching other people's good design. Don't worry, you're not coming up with yours. Yours will begin to come to you naturally the more you keep sketching other people's good design. You see, people that can sing, good singers, many of them don't start out writing their own songs. They start out by singing other people's songs for years, in the bathroom, in the kitchen, in the car. That's what they sing, other people's songs. And that builds their voice to a point whereby they've so learned how to sing other people's songs the way they've sang it that they now learn the art of songwriting. Do you understand? That's how it is. So exposure is the most important thing, and that's the value you should get from these classes. So I'll go straight into the exercise for last week and go through the submissions and just tell you what my thoughts are. So just try to pay attention to the suggestions I gave and apply it to yourself. You understand? Whether you're going to do the exercise or work with a client, use these suggestions that I'll give. So I'll share my screen now. All right. Hope you are all seeing my screen. Jonathan, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
All right, so everyone see my screen. All right, cool. All right, so let's just go straight into it. You know, all right, So now in week 9, the task was that you guys sketched and you guys were to sketch. I think we sketched in week 8. In week 9, we digitized. Week 10, we we did like presentation mock-ups, and that's what we're going to be looking at right now. So that's the process of design: ideation, sketching, copying, getting inspiration from other people. That's ideation. Execution, that's digitization, when you can now take your sketch from a sketch into digital art. That is execution. Presentation is when you can now take that your digital art and put it in real life context that the customer, the client, can understand how to use what you're giving them. The problem is that a lot of people, the truth of the matter, a lot of people do ideation, very weak ideation. And what I mean by weak ideation is they think of the idea themselves. They don't copy, they don't sketch, they don't get inspiration from other people. You understand? So they think of it themselves and go straight to execution. Now they spend a lot of time in execution, which is looking at how other people have done this job. Execution, so which is looking at CorelDRAW, Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop. They spend so much time clicking the mouse. You understand? Then what they now do from there, which is now a critical mistake, is that they send execution to the client. That's a big problem. Then the client comes back and say, I don't like it. But it's not that the client doesn't like it, the client doesn't understand it. So you're sending execution. You never send execution to the client. You can send execution to the client if the client says that if you're carrying along the client, but always know the client that this is not the finished work. What you send for the client to approve finally is presentation. This mock-ups. But a lot of times I used to do it too. I would send client logo on white background, logo on black background, logo on green background, logo on yellow background, and the client will not like it. Say, we don't like it, we are not feeling it. But then just put that logo on something the client can relate with, on a t-shirt, on a mug, on an envelope, on a car, on a billboard, and they begin to say, I really like it. I'm sure some of you have gotten some of those messages that the client to say, I really like that one where it's on the billboard. You see, it's the same logo, you understand? But what they're telling you is that I can relate with it now. I'll never forget the time when I did a logo for a client. I think I even sent one of the logos I sent to you as a mock-up. And he told me, I think I should look for itself. Let me look for it and use it as an example. Yeah. Silver Spoon Foods. I think I worked on this about pretty long ago, maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. And when I sent the logo at first, all I sent was just this silver food on a white background. And I'd done these mock-ups, but I forgot to attach them. So when I attached only the logo on a white background. And by the time I sent it, I realized, I didn't attach the mock-ups. And he had already looked at it and had already sent me a reply. So I just looked at his reply before I sent him back the mock-up. And he said, I don't really like it. But then I said, okay, let me send you the mock-ups. I forgot to send you the mock-ups. And I sent him this mock-up and this one. There are other ones. These are just a few I just picked out. And he told me, man, I absolutely love it. I now see what you're saying. I love it. Please don't change anything. He told me, disregard that my first message. What was the difference? Had the logo changed? No. The colors changed? No. Just the application. The application. So mocking up your work, highly important. Very important. Your ability to look for mock-ups that put your work in context is so important. It's so important. It's very important. Sometimes it's even more important than the execution of the work you've done. More important. That's what excites the average client, seeing the work in perspective. Everything I did here, the guy replicated. This is how their bags look. Exactly like this, nothing different. In fact, it was so on the printer's mind, on the printer's case, that he made sure that the size was exactly like this, the spacing, everything was like this. It took him some time to get these brown paper bags in Abuja here. It took him some time, but he spent a lot of money to get it because he just wanted this. Their salad bowl, exactly like this. Exactly. He made sure he got it exactly like this. This is exactly how it is. That's how impressed he was by the. And there are a lot of things I did for him. That T-shirt, everything was exactly the way I just presented it. Do you understand? He understood what I was trying to do with the logo when I put it in context. So that's what the last task I gave you was about. Now, I got some submissions. I think the first submission was Dami, but Dami redid his work. So he gave Taiwo the opportunity to do his work. And I think that Taiwo has done very well. I want to commend Taiwo for his dedication towards this exercise that we've been doing. He has been consistently, doing it. And why I'm commending him is because if he didn't do the work, there will be nothing for me to reference in class. And that's why I am appreciating the people that have time and have been able to do it, or to make out time to do it, because they give us a basis for us to have something to reference. So thank you very much, Taiwo, for committing to this exercise. And you see, last week we were looking at Taiwo's logo, Wumsy. And Taiwo has really done a great job because he has gone back and he has taken a lot of the feedback I've given him and he has applied it. And the logo looks much better, to be honest with you. Let me try to go back to Taiwo's the original Wumsy logo, and let's compare it to this one. Wumsy. So you see with this one, because we have those, what I call hills and valleys, those hills and valleys are very, very, what I mean by hills and valleys is what he has in Wumsy here. So you see he has, let me change the color of this to black. Okay, so he has this W, which is uppercase. So that's a hill. Then it comes back to the U, it's a valley, and he has valleys all here. Then he has another valley here, another upside down hill here. So that's how the logo looks like in terms of a shape. It's very hard to work with stuff like this. When your logo has this shape, it's very hard. Very hard. Especially when you have a symbol mark going with it. When your logo has those weird shapes like this, sorry, these people really messed up their pen too. I don't know why they kind of they thought they improved it, but they didn't really improve it. So when a logo looks like this, very hard to work with. Where you have a capital letter or small letters. Then you have some other logos that look like this. Capital letter, another tall letter like L. Then you have a letter that comes down like Y here. Then look, so you have like a T. You have the words here. You have L, and this is Y. Very hard to manage because you don't know where to put your symbol on top this. Where do you put your symbol? Where do you put the rider that you're going to write under it here? Because it has that weird shape. The truth of the matter is, what you want to try, unless it's a word mark. If it's a word mark, you can have a name like this. Tidal. Tidal as a word mark would work, even though it has a lot of hills and valleys. See, it has all those things going for it. But if it's a word mark, there's no symbol, it will work. It will look good. It will look good if you had it as a word mark. But if there's a symbol, Tidal will be a nightmare. So when you want to write Tidal, see, you can see the hills and valleys there. Where do you put the symbol without this poking it? You understand? So it's very technical. So sometimes when you have a symbol mark, you want to try as much as possible to keep your logo like this within a box. Then your symbol can stay on top of it within that rectangle. At worst, symbol mark, your logo can look like this, where you have, so, oh my goodness, I don't get this thing. You're like Tony, you understand? You can put something, but this top should be a straight line. It helps you to place stuff above your logo. So you can see one of the very first challenges that Taiwo had was this hill, these hills and valley. You can see these hills and valley affected the placement of this and the placement of this. They affected the placement of this because this exclusive flowers couldn't extend beyond this. This logo couldn't extend over this. So it affects centralization a lot of times. But you see, he has done something pretty brilliant. Let's go to his current work right now. So if you see, what he has done here. Really nice. You see how that symbol sits down well on the word mark, and his descriptive name sits down well under it because he has decided to go all uppercase. That was a brilliant way of solving the problem. Another thing he has done, he has taken the advice to kind of thicken the symbol so it looks really good. That's really good. You can see, and now in looking at his mock-ups, very nice, very relatable. Because one thing I must commend Taiwo for is this is a very hard industry to mock up. It's hard because what does a flower shop do apart from give out flowers? And you can't put your logo on top the flowers. So you have looked for other things that they might want to. These are things that excite clients. And this is why clients will pay you extra money because you are giving them ideas of even how to apply. So they'll say, oh, okay, we never thought of, oh, maybe we should buy something like this. So should buy something like this. You should buy something like this bag where we can put our flowers in to deliver them. That's an idea that you just give a client just with your presentation. You understand? That's a good idea. We've done something else here where we can say, oh, maybe we should give this to our clients to carry around so that they can help promote our business. You see, one thing that Taiwo has done here is there might be no need to put this whimsy here. Just use the pattern. But it's a good thing you do this anyway to further promote the brand. But it was a good idea. Maybe we should use umbrella. You understand? That's good. It's a good idea. It looks very appropriate for the brand. And he has been able to do this very well. The mock-ups are really nice, really believable, really classy. It has really brought out the logo that he did last week and helps us to appreciate it more. So Taiwo has done a good job. Taiwo has done a really good job. The only thing I want to say is when you are doing mock-ups, one thing you want to try to do is think of this when you're mocking up stuff. There are 3 categories of ways in which clients would like to see their work presented. So think of it. You look for office collateral, which are like letterhead, business card, envelopes, pens, things they will use for everyday office business. Clients want to see what their logos will look like on stuff like that. So when you're mocking up, put those things there. You understand? Office collateral. Office collateral, very important. Put it there. Those things that they use every day. As I said, business card, letterhead, envelope, file jackets, pens, all those things, like what I have with these guys here. Let me see if I can get. You see, in this kind of presentation now, office collateral. See this way there, the pens, the notepad, things like that are office collateral. It helps clients to see how their logo works on those everyday use things. Then the second application that you might want to show the client is on marketing collateral. So things that they might give out to help them market their business. So you might look at their cars going around. That's marketing. Look at this. This might go as marketing, but not really too. But you look at t-shirts, that's marketing. You understand? Things that market to you. You can even show them and see, like I did with these guys here. But look at on their delivery bags, that's marketing. You understand? So that's marketing. So you want to mock up those things too. So you have office collateral, marketing collateral. The third things are on products and merchandise. So they want to see what it looks like on products and merchandise. So like this bad gang now, you see what it looks like. It's a product. You understand? For them, it's a t-shirt, it's a jacket. And this thing really helped these people because they sold a lot of their jackets when I showed them this logo. You see, they adapted this exactly the same way. And there were other ones too I showed them, but it just showed them how they could really brand their business. And they used it. They still use it to today. You understand? So these are products that they sold to their members. Their members bought it because of the way it looked on the product. This guy does car repair in the US, and you can see here, this is a product. So they sell car parts and stuff. So I kind of show you how it can look on their product packaging. You understand? So for him, I showed him business card, letterhead, but to further show him how this thing can work, I had to design product packaging. And that's where you cannot be a designer and now say, man, they didn't pay me to design product packaging. My work stops at logo. Let them go and pay me to do. You don't do that. That's why you must charge well in the first place. You charge well for the extra things you have decided you would do for them. That extra value. You understand? So I had to design this for them, which was like free packaging design. You understand? It wasn't in the brief, but to sell my logo idea, I had to do that. Like with these guys too, it wasn't in the brief to design a salad bowl for them. Free packaging, but they paid a premium. You understand? That's why I charge a premium. You understand? Because I know the extra value they're going to get. So yeah, you think about it in that way when you run out of ideas and say, how can I mock up? Because a lot of people say, okay, mock-ups, but I don't know what to mock up. Just think about it. Office collateral. Have I done business card? Have I done letterhead? Have I done ID cards? Have I done, okay, let me do those. Then I think marketing collateral. Let me show them how to look like on a billboard. Let me show them how to look like on a flyer. Let me show them how their social media template will look like. Marketing collateral. Products. Nothing. What are they into? Oh, they're into this. Let me show them what their packaging can look like. Let me show them what they can give to their clients. Just, So that's why I did, out of all these things that I did for these people, this was what excited them the most. This flash drive that you're looking at, that was the winner for them. That was the winner. Just this flash drive. They just like the way it looks. Like, that's good. We can actually give people flash drives. When they work with us, we can actually give our staff flash drives and they take it around and stuff. This was what excited them, not any other thing. You understand? So for them, it was marketing, it was product, it was a way of rewarding people that they've been thinking, what can we give to our staff that they can carry around? So that kind of answered it for them. They also like the mugs too. I think the mug was very, very, it was just a simple mug. Nothing. But they reacted like if they had not seen a mug before because it was their mug this time around. And they were like, why didn't we think of that? You understand? When they take the mugs home, people will see it. You understand? So um, think of those when you're stuck on what to come up with for collateral. And I had to say this because I'm going to go to Akitunde's work. Akitunde's sketch is amazing. It's amazing. I think Akitunde has a very unique, incredible skill for sketching, um, and that's really amazing. You understand? I think you should use it some more. You understand? Use it some more. Since you are really good with the art, use it some more when you are designing, especially designing your logos. You understand? I am not really good. I won't say I'm a brilliant artist, but you are. So you see, feel free to use your strongest point to win clients' heart more. So when you have the opportunity to do a symbol mark, do it. You understand? Because you've done very well. But I had to look at this thing and say, was it was it a human? If your hand didn't show there, my wife was telling me if she didn't see this pen and this stuff there, she would have said, man, this guy kind of just maybe scanned this thing or something like that. But it's a great work. You've done very well. Um, and your digitization is also amazing. Now you can see Akatunde has he has an eye for art. Um, so the personality of this has really come out well. He has chosen the right font, and you can see how the font has shown a personality because the font is soft. It's a soft font. It has rounded edges. It looks approachable, looks friendly. It's just the personality comes out with the font. But you can see with this self, you see what I'm talking about, those hills and valleys. They're a nightmare when you look at it. You could easily throw this design off. But he has found a way of really balancing it out where it looks really balanced. But it's very, very hard to place anything on top of this. In fact, with logos like this, I mean, sometimes it's way easier to have the primary symbol come after, something like that. So this comes down here, you understand, or come before. So this comes down here. But on top, it's so hard. It's so hard on top that you're looking for how to balance it out. You understand? When you look at it visually, this hill here and this valley here just make it look like it is heavy towards this side. The logo just seems like it's heavy towards that side. You understand? Just seems like it needs some balance. Like this should have come up to make it balanced. You understand? But that said, it's still visually very striking. He understands how to use fonts, so he has used sentence case here and uppercase here. So it allows you to appreciate, even though the lily veil is in emphasis, the flowers also has some presence. You understand? So it's a really good job he has done. I like his choice of colors, how he has balanced it. Very, very nice, very beautiful job you've done, Akitunde. Very beautiful job. So let's go to Akitunde's mock-up. So Akitunde's mock-up here, this Akitunde's mock-up. And this looks like a letterhead or something, which is good. The problem is this should have been more. It's not enough to sell. It's not enough to sell your idea. So even as beautiful as this is, someone that is not hung up on that beauty can still reject this logo and just says, I don't know how it works, you know, they still won't see how it works. Because you now think about it, is a letterhead enough to sell the idea of a flower shop? How often will a flower shop use a letterhead? How often? So you need to go to that place whereby, as I said, with what Taiwo had done, where you give them ideas. That way mocking up is serious work. I don't think a lot of designers know this, but it's serious work. A lot of times you just think, I'll just get a template of a mock-up and use it. It's very hard. You need to research, look at images and say, what images align with this client I'm working with? So you look at images, don't just look for templates where you just swipe up what they have. No, sometimes you need to digitally you need to digitally create your mockups, like not just a swiping of a template. You need to be the one to now use Photoshop to clean off some things on an image, on a normal photo, and put it on a like this jacket. It wasn't a mock-up. I just looked for leather jackets and put the logo on it. So sometimes you are looking for ready-made mock-ups when you should be looking for photos that you will digitally place your logo on yourself. You understand? So let's stop, because some of these downloaded mock-ups that we get from all these sites, I've forgotten the name of the sites now. There are some of them that are so popular for mock-up. What's one popular? There's one very popular one that people go to. I've forgotten what it's called. So popular. But you see, those popular sites, as you are going there, like about 100,000 designers too are going there. So they are so popular in the sense that the client even feels like if he has seen them before. You understand? So the same guy carrying the stuff, the same woman smiling, the same bus stop that you are using. No, everything is the same. You understand? You need to give them mock-ups that look like if you went to the factory to go and make this thing for them. That's how believable it should be. So mock-ups have been abused, and they don't look, there's nothing unique about them anymore. You want to stay clear of those kind of mock-ups. So I feel for you, Taiwo, for you, Akitunde, you could have gone more, because it's such a beautiful work. It would have been good to see more. It would have been good to see more in terms of application, in terms of pattern, in terms of, merchandising that they could do. Okay, so with this is the job from Dami, and Dami has gone with this symbol, and it's called Bongo Foods, 100% organic. This is not bad in terms of the digitization. It's not bad. It's clean. I like it. It works. I feel the scale of that symbol is still too big. Still too big. I think if we made it a bit smaller, just a little bit smaller, it might have been that much better. So when I look at this, I look at this, I'm not very comfortable. This is, let me see, how many of this can we bring out of this? I think this is like maybe at least three times this. That might be a bit too much. I feel that might be a bit too much. I think maybe if we had gone for maybe 2 times, that might have been better. But it looks, when I look at it, what I see is that this is too heavy for this. So this looks like it's very hard, like it's doing a lot of work carrying this structure. So it doesn't look structurally balanced. I think if this were shrunk, if this were shrunk down a bit, it will look very balanced. It look very good. But that said, it's a good try. I think what Dami needs to do is just spend more time looking at established logos and look at the balance between their icon and their wordmark. Their icon and their wordmark. Even when I look at these two, these foods that he has here, Bongo Foods, I'm feeling these foods could have stretched out over the B and the O rather than just where it is there, which is slightly over the B. And no, you could just spread out this, you could just use that space a little bit more. So I feel this space, sorry, 1 minute, this space could have used that space where that word was spread out over that BO and totally own that valley. You understand? You see, that when I talk about those hills and valleys again, just make it work to your advantage when you have them. But you have that hill here. I think we should have totally owned that this valley here. You understand? We should have totally owned that valley there. So that fold should have been bigger. But his mock-up is not bad. His mock-up is not bad. Believable. He has gone the extra mile to think of what these people might need. So he has done of products, which I told you about. He has done product. He has also done some merchandising. You understand? Some product and merchandising. So that's not bad. You understand? So that's a good attempt by Dami. If you can just work on that scaling. But that scaling only comes by copy. Just go and copy somebody. See what their scale is to. You understand? Look at Total. Try to copy their logo. Look at the scale of their logo to the. Sorry, who's this? Felix. I'm trying to meet Felix. Okay, so look at the scale of Total, of their symbol and their word mark, and just copy it. Just copy. You understand? Don't try, because if you try to figure it out, you need like how many tries, how many possible options. Just copy. Those guys have been the people that did Total's logo for them. They are experienced people. Trust me, they're not beginners, so they know what they are doing. You understand? So what you want to do is focus on what people that know what they are doing are, so that you can move past that and go straight into your own creative work without trying to reinvent the wheel. So that is, I think that's about it for the submissions. These are all the submissions we have. So I'm hoping that you guys are able to get some value from the submissions and apply it not just to you doing the exercises, but also to you working on client jobs. That will really help you if you are working on client jobs. Remember, as I said, one thing you can take away from here, mock-ups are very important. Clients relate to mock-ups more than they relate to the logo itself. Real life. How can it be used? It gives them ideas, extra value. Those things very important. When you're mocking up and you're thinking, what should I mock up? What can I do? Think about it. Office collateral, marketing collateral, and product collateral. Those things are what would help you, will lead and guide your mock-up so that you don't get lost on ideas. You understand? You don't start to grope for ideas and say, what should I start mocking up? Just think of what's proper for office collateral for these guys, what's proper for marketing collateral for them, and what's proper for product collateral for them. And before you know it, you have a very robust mock-up. All right. So yeah, I think that's about it for today's review on the projects that have been done. For this week, I want to still give people an opportunity, those that are free this week, because this is the penultimate week, I'm not going to give you any exercise going further. Take some time to go through all the material that we've done from week 1 to week 11. Now, why I'm going through this is some people have not done the exercise at all. This week, I'll give you the chance to do the exercise. Also, this week, if you have any work you are working on, client work you are working on, you are stuck, you are confused, you are not stuck, you are not confused, but you want to share, bring it to the class throughout the week. You understand? Throughout the week, just share. Just say, "Oh, I'm working on this. Please can you let me know what you think? I'll give you my advice." So this week, I'm available to consult with you guys on the project, real life projects, or these exercises that I've given. You want to do it from sketch stage to whatever I bring it, put it on the group this week. I'll take out time to answer the questions and to help you with your personal projects. But next week is the final class, and next week is going to be the Q&A class. So come with your questions. You understand? Come with your questions, design business questions, client questions, charging questions, rate questions. We'll take time within that hour to answer questions. So prepare for next week for the Q&A class where you can ask all your questions. But this week, share the work you are working on. If you need help, you need advice, you need encouragement, whatever it is, share. You want to inspire somebody, might be a work you've even done, you just completed. Share it with us and say, "I just completed this job." It will be good for us to have a look at it on the group. So that will be it for today's class. I want to thank Taiwo, Akitunde, Dami for taking time to submit this work. So they are giving us like a basis for which we could make corrections and give suggestions. All right, so that's about it. I'll be closing the class right now. I don't know if there are any questions for now. Any questions whatsoever, you can feel free to ask before I close the class. But next week is dedicated to questions. Anyway.
So,
All right, go ahead.
yeah, you spoke about us sharing um, a job that we've done, or maybe something we're currently working on,
Yes.
for you to give advice on. I actually have something I'm working on currently, and I don't know if it's too early to send it
No,
in.
no. It's not too early. You can send it in. Send it in from tonight. Send it in from now, right after the class. No, not too
Oh,
early.
all,
No matter what stage you are,
all
even
right,
if
sir.
you are still at the idea stage, you want to share your sketches or send it with us, whatever. Never too early.
All right, then, sir.
All right. All right, guys. Any other question before we close the class? All right. So thank you, Jonathan, for being part of this class. Taiwo, thanks. Felix, it's good to have you join us.
Yes, sir.
Akitunde, thank you very much. Very amazing work you're doing. Um, and Chanel has dropped off the call, but thank you for taking time to be part of this. All right, guys, I want to wish you guys a wonderful day and week, and hoping to see your questions and the projects you're working on and the exercises if you've not done them at all. At whatever stage, please feel free to share. All right, guys, take care of yourself.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right.